Today, we will have an in-depth conversation with business icon and shark Daymond, who shares his secrets for success in business and in life. We welcome business strategist Bill Walsh, who is respected worldwide for empowering entrepreneurs to achieve extraordinary success. The founder and CEO of Investor Schooling, nationally recognized expert Larry Steinhouse, teaches us how to build wealth on the investor spotlight. And we hear from music icon Kenny Loggins, who shares how we can pay it forward to those experiencing challenging times. Welcome to In the Spotlight, sponsored by Powerteam International. When it comes to success, there's no better person to learn from than our next guest. From his humble beginnings working at the Red Lobster while he was building his company to becoming one of our most respected and successful business icons, Daymond shares his secrets for success in business and in life. Well, I'm so excited to be sitting here with the legendary Daymond. I want to thank you so much. You're so busy for taking a couple minutes to talk to us.
It's my pleasure.
So really appreciate it. Now you really have become such a great mentor. And I've seen the show. My son is a huge fan of yours.
I love it. I love the little sharks out there.
And he is like so committed to that show, which I love because I wasn't raised by an entrepreneur. I was raised by two entertainers and was an actor when I was a kid. So to have that kind of leadership, I mean, that you're affecting them and they're learning about business is really, really powerful.
Well, you know what? I would love to take the credit for that and be very honest. It was ABC and Mark Burnett who had a vision to teach entrepreneurship. If somebody would have said to me 10 years ago, you can watch a couple of men and women talk about deals on a show and it would be important and people would value it, I wouldn't believe it. But if you let Hollywood and a couple of the really amazing editors and filmers, put it together and put it out in a way where it's entertaining as well as informative, 10 years ago, could I have ever seen people who are millionaires and billionaires in the room with the common day man and woman, and what would they want to hear? And I think that's the value. When you sit home on the couch, you go, that person's doing it, why can't I? Right. And with your son, taking nothing away from the actors and the athletes of the world and things of that nature. But I'm finding now that kids want to be sharks just as much as athletes and actors, and that we're honored to be part of that ecosystem.
I think we both realize, I did a series as a young kid, so I went as a performer, but it's a business.
Yes.
And same thing with, as you know, any of your friends that are Hall of Famers and what happens, they are an athlete and then they have to learn how to run a business. So what you're teaching is so powerful because it doesn't matter if you become a professional athlete, actor, whatever. It is a business, and I think that's what's I love about the show, but you're also doing it just in your own life, which is mentoring people and understanding, that they can learn about how to run a business.
Absolutely, and I think that whether it's going to school for higher education, I see too many kids and people who say to me, well, a lot of entrepreneurs don't go to school or haven't gone to college, and I say, but you don't understand. The fundamentals to business is business and finance and all these things such as marketing. There's a very, very specific fundamental to operating and running a business, and you have to get an education in it. I didn't have financial intelligence, and I risked it all. It's a very slim chance that I got to this point in my life, and if I would have had to do it all over again, that's the only thing in life that I would have changed, is get a better education, a formal education.
And I wanted to ask you about that because with what's happened in our economy, there's a lot of people that have gone through tragedy, whether they had a very successful business that went from 30 million to 10 million, or they were struggling to make 50,000, they're at 25,000, or they have a dream of something they want to do and they're thinking, wow, could this really happen for me? Have you ever had a time where you were tempted to kind of give up on your dream
And if you did, how did you get through that?
That's a very good question. Often I had that challenge, and I think that one of the most important ingredients in being a successful entrepreneur is having a mentor that really has no interest in your business and has been there. And that has proven to be way more successful, in regards to if you put 10 businesses in a room and the ones that are more successful, you generally find that there was some form of a mentor around or a mind trust. People who have the same agenda as you do. And, when I started my company, I have 3 other partners. And when I wanted to quit, they wouldn't let me quit, and vice versa. And, we ended up really, 10 years felt like 2 years when I created it. And I opened in 1989, and I failed and ran out of money and closed FUBU down 3 times until 1992. And I didn't really get out on a national stage till 1997.
I thank you so much for saying that, because I think so many people all over the world need to hear that.
Yeah.
Because it was you being persistent and not giving up on that dream that you had.
Absolutely. And before that, I had 3 or 4 other businesses. I just didn't love the businesses. It was like I had a little van service and this and that. I didn't love the business, but this business kept calling me back, as I said on stage, because I kept seeing people wear the product, and I would do anything to see somebody adorn their body in something that I made, because it just made them feel special. And I kept opening the business. But I made my mistakes small, so I was able to close down for 6 months and open back up.
But that's so powerful too, because a lot of people end up maybe spending their life doing something they're not that passionate about, even in businesses.
Sure.
So I think that's such a great lesson. I love that you share that one of that lesson, that gold, wonderful rule of do what you love and the money will flow.
Yeah.
And you find that is really, really true in the people that that are successful.
It is, and I just have to find a better way of saying it, because I sound like my grandfather now when people kind of let these really important sayings just wash by. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Do what you love, you never work a day in your life, and all. It's all crap as far as they're concerned.
I mean,
but
you're
it's
gonna work,
not,
obviously.
Yeah, absolutely work, but you will love doing it, because the reality is our report card is not going to come back A all the time. But if you were doing a business that you loved and you were obsessed with, and 10 years from now it didn't work, at least you had fun.
Right.
If you were doing something for money in a business that you hated, but you were just like, that's the newest, hottest thing, your life is gone. That 10 years you can never get back, work or play. I try to get away from Kevin O'Leary all the time, but he just sits right next to me.
More with Daymond on the power of influences. We'll be right back.
I wanna build you up, I wanna make you strong.
Those of us who play the game know that there is this intrinsic relationship between the challenges of the game and life itself.
In the process of teaching young people about a fun activity that requires hard work, dedication, some skill, you were teaching them that the attributes that make them a better golfer are the same attributes that are used to make a good soldier, a good doctor, a good teacher, a good parent, a good citizen, a good person.
The National School Program has really allowed the First Tee to have a broader and deeper impact in our society.
Every single one of our 13,000 elementary children are being touched in a very positive way, and their schooling is being changed for the better.
When you were a little child, did you always have this drive in this way? Did you have a specific mentor that inspired you, somebody who believed in you, or was it just something that was inside of you?
I always had this drive, but again, my mentor was, and I talk about her all the time, my first mentor was my mother. Because a lot of people ask, are you born an entrepreneur, or is it something you learn? And I believe we're all born thinking like entrepreneurs, but I believe that some of us, if we don't have the right people around us, when we tell somebody that we're going to change the world, or we're going to save the seals, or whatever it is, and if we have a negative person around us, could be a family member, they may say, it hasn't been done yet, it can never happen, you're going to embarrass yourself, you're going to embarrass us, and you tend to stop thinking like an entrepreneur because you're influenced by somebody. But my mother was the exact opposite. Yes, you absolutely can do that. Why don't we start today, So, I just happen to have a great surrounding and amazing people around me.
And I think that's great. It's unfortunate that, and I had that as well. I mean, my parents were not wealthy, but they loved what they did, and they always made money doing what they loved.
Right.
So they always felt successful, even though by somebody else's standard, maybe they weren't wealthy. You know, there's a lot of people that don't have that cheerleader and have not had that cheerleader in their life. What do you suggest to people? Because I think the mental game, from what I've learned from entrepreneurs, because I had to, after doing my series, I had to learn how to be a business person in that aspect of it. But the mental game is also so much a part of the success and the staying power in business.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with that?
100%.
So what do you recommend that an entrepreneur does to keep their
Go
head?
find those people.
Okay.
You have to go find those people, and you have to cut those negative people out of your life. Listen, we see people all the time who have groups and cults and packs around them. They're doing everything from the most amazing things in the world to the worst things in the world. There's somebody out there that relates or on your level and believes in what you want to do, but you got to go find that person, and you absolutely take those other negative people out of your life or limit them as much as you can.
And if that's your family members, I mean, that can obviously be a challenge, but at the same time, it's so great to hear you say that, because almost every successful person that I've sat down, talked to, like yourself, who's had that long-term staying power, feels so strongly about those influences that are around them in their core, in the
100%.
core.
Your assets are what feeds you, and your liabilities are what eats you. And before you go and look at anything from your financial assets and liabilities or your inventory, you have to look at your assets and liabilities as being the people around you and your way of thinking. I was an only child. I didn't have any siblings, so I hired my entire neighborhood because I always wanted a brother and sister. But on the other hand, I will cut people off in a heartbeat if they are bringing drama, they have negative energy, they're bringing it around. Like I try to get away from Kevin O'Leary all the time, but he just sits right next to me.
He's right next to me.
But I try all the time. But I will eventually get away from him.
Can't you have Mr. Burnett move you down the road?
I've tried. I've tried. But Kevin just keeps popping up. He's one of those things.
Well, maybe we can look at it as that you've been placed into his life to try to help him recover from maybe some of the negativity. You're going to be a positive influence on him.
I'm going to bring holy water to the set next time and pour it on him and watch him melt in the seat.
Can't wait to see it happen. We'll be looking for news at 10 on that. And I just thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're I want you to go have some fun.
I will. Trust me. I always sneak in fun.
For giving to us. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Daymond, so much.
Daymond is transforming the lives for people of all ages on the Emmy Award-winning show Shark Tank, as well as with his personal brand. So for more information about how Daymond can support you with your business goals, go to daymondjohn.com. Next on the Business Spotlight, we hear powerful strategies on business growth, leadership, and market innovation from the CEO and founder of Powerteam International, Bill Walsh.
When a new wave calls, you answer. When adventure calls, you answer. When the surf calls, you paddle out. When sunsets call, you find the best view. When the sand in your toes calls, you put more sand between them. When the ocean calls, you wave hello. Because when happiness calls, you answer. San Diego Happiness is calling you back.
I am so excited to bring our next guest to the show. He is somebody who is recognized globally as a business strategist. He has been known as one of the top business coaches in the world for over 30 years, and he's incredibly passionate about helping entrepreneurs and business owners really learn how to be successful and the strategies that it takes to do that. So please welcome to the show the incredible Bill Walsh.
So good to see you.
It's so good to have you.
Thanks for all the kind words. I'll pay you later for all those kind words. How are you?
Oh, I'm great, and I'm so happy to have you here.
It's an honor to be here.
With all the success that you've had, I think some people would think, wow, how did you get to this point? Were you raised by an entrepreneur? Were you just born into this?
I wish I could tell you that I was raised by an entrepreneur. Both my parents had regular day jobs. But the thing that happened for me is I had a newspaper out at 9 years old. I raced BMX bikes, and my first job was that newspaper route. And when I first started, I knew right away, I'm like, this was a bad idea. 3 weeks in, I was delivering 300 papers on a Sunday morning. But my dad said something really paramount to me. He said, if you start something, you finish it. So I kept that paper out for 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
And then I got to be around entrepreneurs between my 12 to 16. And I think those ages are so important. And these individuals had every week, I raced BMX bikes and I raced all over the country. And I got to travel every weekend with these parents and they had all the weekends off. Where if my dad took a Saturday off, he was losing time and a half. Sundays losing double time. So I got to be around people and I said, how do you do all this? And he said, you've got to be an entrepreneur. He said, you got to get behind the cash register instead of always being in front of it. It was one of my first private jet trips. And I knew right away, I said, I didn't understand what he was talking about then, but I knew right away that it wasn't about having that 9-to-5 job and having that 9-to-5 grind.
You know, you said something really powerful about being in proximity to other entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Who mentored you and guided you. And now.
Yes. So I would say for me that I started out with a book called Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
And I also started being around people that, once again, that when everybody else was talking about how tired they were still working. Right. And so I got to be around more of those people. Yeah. And then sure enough, out of high school and college, was in New York and Chicago, and I was around nothing but really top-level entrepreneurs. And I think that was the difference for me, is that I was around individuals that inspired me, not motivated me. But that's kind of how it all started, from trading to turnarounds, M&A work, fixing companies, to launching products for small business owners. And I think that was the gift for me, is that then we launched business courses, speaker courses, mastermind events. We invested in franchise expos, business expos, today TV networks, events all over the world to help entrepreneurs. And I sit on lots of public boards today. But all of this is like, and I think it's important, if you're listening, getting to say that most of the success you hear about is about a decade in the making. If it's a flash overnight, it's probably gone the next night. Right. So get rich quick usually means get broke faster.
Right. For people listening right now, they're thinking, okay, I need to learn from this incredible man. You have a number of different events where you service entrepreneurs. How can people get in touch with you to find out more about all of the different programs that you have based on what is right for them, where they are in their business?
The easiest way is you'll get a copy of my book, The Obvious. You've seen the movie The Secret. I wrote The Obvious. You'll get our newsletter free for the next 5 years, no charge at all. You'll get access to some of our upcoming digital events. And all you have to do is text the word success. So if you text the word success to the number 26786, text the word success to 26786. There's an old saying that you don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. And I truly believe you start within the mind before it ever shows up everywhere else.
Right.
So ask yourself, are you feeding your mind every day with great stuff? You know, anything that you're broadcasting, they should plug into your show. Because I love the work you do. I 100% believe in you. And I know for a fact that when you get behind things, you've done your homework, you believe in them. And I feel the same way. So yeah, if you guys are listening today, take that free gift. Text the word success to 26786. It'll get you information on all of our core, whether it's our CEO summits, whether it's our digital products, our global success digital summits, our Rainmaker programs, our speaker programs, our mastermind events, or our franchise expos. Whatever you want to do, get plugged in.
Yeah. Well, I have seen you transform the lives of so many business owners, entrepreneurs. And so it is such a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much.
You're the best. Love you. Thank
really
you. Keep up the great work. Absolutely, everybody. Talk to you guys soon.
In our next segment, we put the spotlight on business owners that are making a positive impact in people's lives.
Predator Zip Lines, a high-flying 2-hour adventure that takes you over the grandeur of Out of Africa Wildlife Park. With 7 towers in total, you won't just fly, you'll soar over breathtaking views while learning about the majestic animals below as your guide educates and entertains you during your tour. Experience the wind ripping through your hair on a thrill ride over nature's wildest predators. Zip on at Predator Zip Lines.
Our next guest is a highly sought after speaker and advisor who empowers people to achieve their financial goals. He's a nationally recognized expert in real estate, stocks, and creative financing. And with his years of knowledge and expertise as an investor, broker, and options trader, he is very passionate about guiding others to learn how to generate wealth as he did. Now he travels the country teaching the proven frameworks for success in real estate, market wins, and creative financing, and everything about wealth creation made simple. Please welcome Larry Steinhouse. Hey!
Kari, I'm like so excited. The introduction you just gave me makes me sound so intelligent.
Well, you actually are intelligent, so thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You know, it's really exciting to have you on this new segment of the Investor Spotlight for our show. And I think it would be really nice for people to get to know you a little bit on your first appearance on the show. So I would love for you to share, if you would, why are you so passionate about helping people with wealth creation? Like, when did you get started with this whole journey?
So it actually started in 2008 when I literally lost everything. I went bankrupt. And then I learned from that moment on all new techniques on how to buy houses with no money, how to invest in the stock market, how to become a multimillionaire once again, but this time with no chance of ever losing it.
Wow. Now, a lot of people would go through the experience you did and they would literally quit and never do anything again.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest mistake that people make when they want to invest, they want to take their wealth to another level, but they maybe haven't been raised by an entrepreneur?
The biggest problem they have is fear. They have to get over this fear. You know, I totally believe that the biggest fear they should have is doing nothing. I mean, what are you going to retire with? The average person retires with $160,000 in the bank. I mean, what are you going to do? Live with $16,000 for 10 years, or 16 years on $10,000?
And that actually, I think, is a little bit higher than a lot of people do retire with, actually.
Yeah. So they have to do something.
Yeah.
And there's no way that your job going to work every day is going to solve this problem. Maybe you get lucky and you get a pension. Most pensions are gone now, but it's definitely not going to be enough for you to have a great life, the same life you're living before you retire.
Well, I think for people who have been working on a job, they really are nervous. They don't know what to do. I mean, what would be the first step for somebody who wants to start investing?
Seriously, probably the first step is to find a mentor. You know, I mentor people all the time, but whether it's me or anyone else, just find a mentor.
Right.
Find someone who's doing it and doing it well. Don't listen to your broke friends, because that's the quickest way to stay broke. Right, exactly.
Right.
So make sure you're listening to someone who actually knows what they're doing and has done it.
Okay, very good. And for everybody listening right now, Larry has something very exciting to share. So what would you say for somebody listening to you right now thinking, okay, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start. What is the most important thing for them to remember if they want to go down this journey and try to change their financial situation?
If I can do it, they can do it.
I love that. Well, because you're not raised by an entrepreneur that was a multimillionaire, correct?
No, absolutely not. No,
Yeah.
no, we lived in a regular two-family house in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
And my parents finally got some money and moved to New Jersey into a regular, everyday, middle-class house. And that was it.
Right. Well, I love that. It's very inspirational. I'm so looking forward to the strategies we're going to talk about this season that you're going to help people with.
I'm excited about it too, by the way. It's going to be great.
It's going to be absolutely amazing.
And I promise you a new jacket every time.
Okay, that's even more exciting. So not only is he very knowledgeable, but he actually has these amazing jackets and makes investing fun. So Larry, I just want to share with the viewers what you graciously opened up for them to help them and support them. So Larry has offered everybody who would like to find out a little bit more about investing to come to one of his free trainings that he does. You just go to investorschooling.com and register. And thank you so much for doing that. I think it's a great way for people to kind of open up and find out a little bit more about investing.
I'm excited, and thanks again for having me.
Okay, thank you, sweetie. Appreciate it so much. Next, Kenny Loggins shares how we can pay it forward to those experiencing challenging times. Stay with us. Now we're going to hear from music legend Kenny Loggins, who shares his heart about how we can make a difference in our communities and pay it forward to those experiencing challenging times. So let's hear from Kenny.
Hi, I'm Kenny Loggins. The Unity Shop is now entering its 104th year of community service. It's come a long way since Pearl Chase and her volunteers set up their first Council of Christmas Cheer store on Haley Street. 33 years ago, I met Barbara Tellefson for the first time when she told me about this new concept of giving low-income families the chance to choose the things they actually need. It appealed to me as a parent. It was a safe harbor that the families could rely on for food, clothing, books, and the myriad of basic necessities that can provide them stability. And honestly, that was the kind of thing I'd been hoping to find. One place where I'd know that what I give will do the best for the most people. Today, over 20,000 people are referred to Unity annually by 305 other nonprofit organizations, churches, schools, hospitals, medical and counseling centers. 1,700 children volunteer yearly, learning how to run the distribution facility on Chapala Street, while giving a hand up to their neighbors and learning important job skills. The hope and healing Unity provides not just to these families, but in large part to the entire community, is impossible to quantify.
For the past 3 years, I've been volunteering at the Unity Shop. This has taught me that I can have the power to help my community, even as a young person.
We love working with Unity because there's so many things that they do for the community, and there's so many ways that we can get involved. From the toys program to the free grocery store and food delivery even. You know, everything is done with an eye towards giving somebody dignity and towards giving them what they really need. So we love being a part of that.
It's such a privilege to work alongside the wonderful staff at the Unity Shop. We're always looking for ways that we can give back to our community.
We are glad that we are able to support other families who need them.
The fact that most of the work done here is volunteer-based, it really turns around lives, not just in the sense that it gives people things, but it gives people like a purpose, which I think is really cool.
This place is revolutionary, really. So they really understand what it means to give according to need, and I think it's just super inspiring.
Unity is the only community distribution center of its kind in the county. As you can imagine, the number of people we see each week is multiplying rapidly. We desperately need your help to sustain this humanitarian, loving service to our fellow neighbors. To find out how you can join us, please visit unityshop.org. We're all in this together.
For more information about how you can be a blessing to a family, go to unityshop.org.
I'd like to thank Daymond John, Bill Walsh, Larry Steinhouse, Kenny Loggins, and Powerteam International.
Be kind, be grateful, and let's all tell at least one person how much we appreciate them today. Thanks for watching In the Spotlight. How would you like to be featured on network television and to gain the visibility and exposure that you and your business deserves?
It was surreal, exciting. Something I am so passionate about is going to be going out to hundreds of thousands of people. It's mind-blowing.
What was your experience, now that it's over, about the interview?
Well, I'm breathing now, for one thing. But I think the whole interview process, when you're dealing with somebody who's a professional, who knows the right questions to ask you, you are really leading me to where I need to go. It was a true professional experience. You can have the greatest message in the world, you can be passionate about it, want to get it out there, but if nobody knows who you are, it's going to be irrelevant. We're at ABC, hundreds of thousands of people are going to be watching this. The bridge between where you currently are and where you desire to be is putting you in the spotlight. Just take the step, just do it. Get your message out there and watch what happens.
If you'd like to apply to be featured on our show, reach out to us at support@inthespotlight.tv. It's time for you to be in the spotlight and promoted on ABC.